we got, I think tickets went on sale at one. All the members were able to buy their tickets to starve, but from what I'm hearing, mate, it seems like the bloody website crashed and everyone sort of was blowing up that they missed out. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, what do they hold at Townsville up there? How many people?
25,000, I think. And then they're bringing in like other grandstands and it's going to like bump the capacity by like 1,500 or something, but it's not much. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So, yeah, it wouldn't last long.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. But I think I'm going to be able to get my hands on a media pass too. So I should be able to get in.
Lovely.
Yeah, perks of the job, eh?
Yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah, definitely required.
Oh, mate, for sure, for sure. But we might officially get it underway, mate. So episode 23, MJ's ep. We got Corey Rees here, young fellow I used to go to school with back at Brendan's. So welcome aboard, Cos.
Cheers, mate.
And so Corey, mate, you were studying physio, is that right, down
Yeah,
at uni? So how about you tell us a little bit
yeah,
about that,
down
mate? What
at
are you doing?
moved down straight out of school, straight to ACU at Northside Brizzy there. Um, but yeah, smacked that out, which was really good uni actually. Few good mates from that one as well, and then finished off last year straight into full time work February this year, and then we only got our graduation about a week ago,
Yeah.
which felt like a bit of a chore by the time you got that. Like you already been working for about 3 months,
Mm.
but day off work, never complaining. But
Yeah.
yeah, and it's going awesome, eh? Down at the little sports physio clinic at Morningside there. Just getting a few athletes and gym goers, different people like that. So yeah, really loving it.
Yeah, mate. I was going to say, because we were talking the other day and I was telling you, I don't know if I was telling you, but I did a bit of work experiences like as physio when I was in like grade 10. We just went and did like a
Yeah,
week where we basically sat there and watched, them in the practice do their thing. And mate, I reckon we had like
yeah,
80% was old people coming through with like back problems. Um,
yeah,
I think only like one ACL came through, which was like pretty interesting. But
yeah,
you're in like a sports clinic, I suppose you probably see a few more interesting injuries.
yeah. That's it, really. Like, oh, because we did our placement last year during COVID, so it was obviously private practice died off that little bit there with the lockdowns and stuff. So it was all hospitals or through the uni, which is a lot more of that whole population. So that's kind of what you got. And I don't think I've seen, well, maybe two or three younger, more athletic types throughout the whole year. And I kind of knew that was what I was after when I started uni.
Mm.
And but yeah, now it's just all that type. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, nice, man. And
Good.
living in Brizzy at the moment?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm at Lutwich there. I was just moved here a month or two ago. Couple of the boys, but north side back over here. But nah, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, nice, mate. Did you? I was gonna say ACU. Is that who you're playing footy for in the uni comp, mate?
Yeah, yep, yeah. So had a run or two with them the other week. We're on that 6 week break now, so the uni comp kind of splits up into that
Yeah,
first half of the season, second half of the season there. So if you get about 4 games and then you get 6 weeks off, which by the time you get to that 4 games and you haven't played in 3 years is needed.
yeah.
Definitely.
How's the body feeling? All right?
Ah, I reckon so. The first couple of games I was playing halfback, and I think I made about 3 tackles. Oh, bench halfback. So I made about 3 tackles, and then they threw me in at hooker in the last game and made about 5, and oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
yeah, pulled up pretty sore.
Mate, when you're playing in the
But
middle, you just got to go third man in. So wait till the big boys lock them up top and then come and chop the legs.
chop the legs, and then you just stay in there and push someone else back to A.
Yeah. Just hang in there at second marker.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, typical Glossop play.
I was going to say, mate, probably how we met is through a good mutual mate, Jack Glossop, mate. And I've heard you
Yep.
got a few choice words for him. What are your thoughts on Glosso?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why wasn't hesitant to come on here. I'm like, oh, I can't be worse than the Glossop episode. So
Mm.
I'm feeling pretty safe there.
Yeah.
I think I counted. You said about 10 words throughout that whole episode, so you're already over.
As I say, mate, the good thing is, getting you on, we know that the episode will be a little bit shorter. Like, not that I don't want to talk to you a bit longer, mate, but, I think the listener might get a bit bored when you're going for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
like the big gloss.
Definitely. And you get a bit of an input in this one as well, Keano. So it always helps your podcast and you get to lead it a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. I was not even the host of the last episode. When I had the episode with Gloss, mate, I was just a co-host, really.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's asking you the questions.
Oh, mate. And so apart from ACU, you got your Redcliffe Dolphins shirt on there, mate. You spent a bit of time playing footy back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I was that ready for a good 60 minutes before the ACL. So,
No.
but nah, that's good club up there. Did all my rehab through there that year. But then I was like, I should probably focus on this uni, get that done.
Yeah. How was golf today, mate?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. The last 3 games we've played. Just I don't know what's going on. I was starting to hit them all right towards the end of last year, and then obviously rained for a couple of months. Went back home and stuff, so didn't play. And then I come back, wasn't too bad, but then the last 3 games, I reckon, just I don't know, I was just playing too much, but hopeless at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to lose your frustration on the old green, isn't it? But yeah,
definitely. One little shot goes wrong, and then it costs you 5 more shots, and you're like, you only got that one right.
It's so fluky too, eh? Like sometimes you're just on and you're a bit lucky, but other days, mate, it's more off than on.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I had one of my mates today actually smacked it. Just flew across to the left, hit this massive tree, came back, rolled on the green. It's a little par 3, about 95 meters, and about 4 meters from the pin.
Yeah.
And then I hit my one. It's hit the tree and went the opposite direction.
It
was about 105 from the pin after. Worse. What do you do?
Yeah. And then, mate, that's not your roommate that you're tearing to shreds on your social media over the weekend?
No. That's the roommate I like.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we don't invite Forrest to golf. Hard enough living with him.
Sounds like old Forrest has rubbed a few people the wrong way, mate. Is that the case?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's the old you have a look on Facebook. There's a Mitchell Forrest hate group from a couple of years ago back in Rocky, and no one can stand the bloke. He's rough. Loves to give it a bit, but yeah, he's as you've seen it. I could have went all day with those posts on the weekend. There were that many people sending in their reasons why they didn't like him, but.
Oh, mate, and you did the old tour of the household too. You boys look like you're running a tight ship there with your cleanliness, but yeah, it seems as though, mate,
Definitely.
Forrest was letting you down a bit.
Letting us down, yeah. No, you know that saying, only as strong as your weakest link. So that's Forrest here.
Yeah.
A brand new couch. He's left marks on. We're finding new ones every day.
Oh, mate, no good. I imagine you'd set a pretty high standard around the household too, mate.
Definitely. As you've seen in the video, like that was no planned video before that. It was just straight live. And seeing my other roommate was pretty tidy, but Forrest just a mess. But being clean ain't for everyone, I guess.
That's it, mate. Also, you and I have a few discussions in the past about the NBA player card market. You've also got a few NFL cards too, mate. Is that right?
Yeah, just the one NFL, the big one, the old Patty Mahomes. Got one of him that I'll just sit away for a while. But I was actually not too bad watching old Devin Booker ball today, beating the Lakers. I got one of him not long ago, which I thought, I'll just get rid of that. When I seen them playing Lakers, I was like, I'll probably get rid of that in a couple of weeks. And they're about to lose because generally once they get knocked out, their value just kind of drops off in that off season, unless they got a chance of winning the chip or MVP or something. So, but yeah, they're up 3-2 now, which is concerning for LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah, mate, big time. I was sort of watching from afar while I was at work today, and yeah, it just didn't look good. They're up by 30 at halftime, the Suns, I'm pretty sure, and it looked like Devin Booker was just going ham. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, he scored 18 points in the first quarter.
fucking hell. He must have been on. I've got big raps,
Yeah,
like obviously not big
definitely.
raps, but Chris Paul, mate, what a difference he can make to an NBA team.
Mm.
Like being an ex-Thunder sort of player, I saw what he did with our team. Um, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's just driven Suns to the next level, eh?
literally. Like yeah, exactly. They weren't a playoff team last year, and
Mm.
throw Chris Paul in there. Now they're knocking off the Lakers in the first round. Like,
Yeah,
bit of a
just
big
mental.
difference.
But I don't know if
But
I've just been a bit ignorant to it or not, but it seems like there's a bit of a frenzy with the NBA card market at the moment. Do you reckon it's sort of gotten a lot more popular in the last year or so?
yeah, it definitely has. It's like waves. It's like anything though. Like things go up, come down, and different cards go up. But at the moment, it's still booming. Like you see those big sales that kind of pop up on your Instagram, Facebook, and certain cards going for $1 million here or a couple million or new record for this player, different things like that.
Mm.
It's it's really good, really good. I reckon. Obviously, COVID probably the reason why that's kind of kicked off. Didn't know too much about them before then, or I knew they were around, but not the value that you can make. Like it's definitely an investment
Mm.
type of thing for the future.
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose you probably got into it too from the 4 Point Boys, eh? 4 Point collectibles. Uh, is that how you sort of
Yeah,
got into it?
definitely. Yeah, that's mostly how I started getting into it because it's like nice and easy. They kind of run everything. Got all the setup. All you got to do is pay your money, and then they randomly allocate to you. So you just and then you just watch and kind of yeah. So whatever team you get, um, all random. You get a random number. Random teams get allocated off. You link up. Just say you got the Lakers, and then whatever Lakers card come out, you kind of get. And really, like sometimes pay $100, you can get a $500 card, and you're cheering. Um, it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And so the aim's sort of to try and pull some gun rookies or players that are in form when you're in those sorts of comps, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you got your big players, obviously. Or otherwise your rookie cards. They're what's kind of where the value's at. But and anything numbered really, like even if you get like a third year card that's kind of numbered, still has a fair bit of value to it. Well, obviously your autos,
Mm.
autograph cards are pretty good there too. But your rookies are good. You just kind of stack them away and then wait a couple years, see how they go. Um, but nah, otherwise LeBron's, Zion's, they're pretty
Mm.
big.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything you get there, it's worth a fair bit of money.
Yeah, nice. Is what's Tyler Hero's value like at the moment? You know, he had a good playoff series last season, but this year he's been a bit average.
Yeah, he has dropped off a little bit. He's again with all that trade talk as well. I've kind of heard that he's a bit walking around Miami like he's a bit of a big dog. So the few players are off him there. So then you hear, oh, he traded, might be gone there, might be gone there. So generally, kind of bit of a stall period when they're about to get traded.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't know whether they're going to the Lakers or they're going to bloody Timberwolves. So, um, but yeah, no, he's dipped off a little bit, definitely from playoffs last year. But again, like his hype around him was probably because Miami were going a lot better than anyone else was, like than anyone thought.
Yeah.
They're like no one really thought Miami would be playing in the final in the end. So
Yeah, yeah.
he had that 35-point game or whatever, which
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
gets
mental.
everyone's attention.
Yeah. And also, mate, you've got to, like, if you get cards, you sort of got to get them graded, don't you? Like, and there's a couple of different companies that grade them.
Yeah, yeah. So PSA is like your big one. And they so they had it's like $30 or something to get them graded, and then obviously the backlog just because it got so popular so quick. So too many cards were getting sent in that they couldn't keep up. So they had to kind of shut it down for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And they only just opened it the other day, actually. So, but their price, they bumped it up to about $50. So we sent some away in January, which was about $30 a card, but then they still backlogged the price.
Yeah.
So we had to pay the extra $20 a card to kind of make up for it just the other day. So, but it's not too bad because the price kind of gets reflected in what they sell for. So, they kind of adds $20 value to the card, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But then you got Beckett or BGS, which is one of the other ones. And then today, actually, they said they got to shut down their service because their backflow is too big as well.
Fucking hell.
So that's a bit,
That's wild.
yeah, sure. Just shows how big it's kind of getting.
Do you reckon there's like a lot of people that are sending away cards that aren't worth being graded?
Definitely. Like, you got to think at the moment, it's PSA is like $50 a card, so your card's not worth that much. And that's a bit annoying as well. Like, you send a card away, it takes 6-12 months before you kind of get it back. So obviously that's a whole year. Someone goes and plays unreal and balls out, makes the finals or something, their value's going to go up and you're kind of happy. But your player playing well, like Tyler Hero last year, you send that away straight away, and now his values just drop, maybe halved even. So you think, oh, bad, sending away this $250 card, and then by the time you get it back, it's worth $100. It's annoying, but
fuck, that makes it tough.
Gotta do it, I guess. Yeah, like from the ungraded to graded, the value that just jumps, it probably doubles nearly. So you kind of gotta do it if you think they're gonna be any good.
Yeah. Out of your collection, mate, do you have any favourites?
Definitely the Paddy Mahomes. He's definitely my favourite.
How'd you pull that one?
I bought that one. Bought that one, and it was just one run. Just got it after the Super Bowl loss. So generally, yeah, losing, the value will drop, and there's a bit of hype before the Super Bowl, so they just like prices just jack up just because they're like, oh, yeah, 50-50 chance he could win now, and most people couldn't afford a Tom Brady last year, 25K Tom Brady or a bloody couple grand Paddy Mahomes. So the prices generally went up, and then once they lost, it kind of dropped off a bit. So good time to swoop, and then coming towards the season now, they're climbing again, which just learning the whole cycle of it as well. Like, so you've got your NFL and your basketball, different seasons. So when the off season is, good time to buy some players you want, and then when they're about to get knocked out, good time to get rid of them. If you're gonna flip them or gonna hold them, it's all right.
Yeah, wow. I guess the thing with Paddy Mahomes too was like he's a guaranteed superstar. He's gonna go on to win more Super Bowls, so it's a pretty safe investment.
Oh, you'd think that's the thing that he kind of justify. There's a general manager out there giving him 500 mil over 10 years. Like, who's going to be more mad, you or him, if he goes to crap? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I think he's a freak, eh? Like the stuff he does.
Well,
like even in the Super Bowl last year, he got bagged out a bit, but he's still the best player.
Yeah, that's right. And it's no easy feat coming up against Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. So,
yeah.
And like it's so true. They call him like the Steph Curry of the NFL, and it's exactly what it is. He's so flashy, and he's just so accurate. What a freak.
Literally, and that's the thing. He's throwing balls to players, and their hands are up here, and he's putting it in between, and they're dropping it. Like, that was in the Super Bowl. You're like, what more do you want him to do? Like, you want him to literally place it in their hands or something? Like, that's all you can do. You can only put it on their chin.
Yeah, that's right, mate. And the other funny thing that's sort of becoming quite relevant these days, mate, is the NFTs. We were sort of talking about them as well. It's a bit of a slippery slope at the moment. Don't really know where they stand in the market, but Spoke,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, in the last episode I had with Lasso, we touched on a little bit, but for those that are listening, it's basically just like almost like a highlight video. Say in like the NBA, for example, a highlight video which is sort of serialized, I guess you could say, and it's the same concept as player cards. You know, you get your one of 50s, your one of 25s, or your one of, you know, a couple of hundreds, and yeah, essentially just you get the ownership of a little highlight video, which is a bizarre concept, but people seem to be, well, they were going mad on it. But the post you sent me the other day made about the value dropping, it's a bit of an interesting space.
Yeah, that was one one.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like I was talking to you at the start. I think you kind of asked me, "Oh, what's to go with Top Shot or something?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually heard of it, but I got no idea what it is." And then I kind of dove into it a bit to have a look at it, and I was just like, "Doesn't make much sense, but why is it going ham?" And I was a bit hesitant. I never actually got anything. Actually, I'm kind of a bit glad at the moment. It's kind of died off a little bit. I was reading something on it just before though, and people are saying like, "Oh, it's a bit of a get rich quick type thing." That's the approach a lot of people had to it. And that
Yeah,
often doesn't work, doesn't go too well. So, it's,
that's it.
but
Like,
yeah,
sorry, you carry on, mate.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think it was you the one that sent me that Ouch Charlie video that got put into one.
Yeah, yeah. Just mental, eh? I wanted one. I wonder what that'll sell for, eh? Like they're gonna auction it off.
Oh
It's been done yet, but some dickhead will buy it.
yeah, literally, that's a classic clip. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if you own that, it'd be
Well,
pretty pumped.
I was telling Lasso about that, and he's just like, "Oh, Keano, let's just fucking download it now and make some counterfeit NFTs." I was like, "Oh, mate,
Yeah,
not sure if that'll work, but we give it a crack."
yeah. Imagine that you download it and then coppers rocking up on your door, going, "Mate, that's copyright." You got to
Yeah.
jail for downloading that video.
Oh, mate, it's a scary space though. Like, you know, what if all the popular videos get pulled off of YouTube? You know, and become
Yeah.
NFTs. It might be the death of YouTube, mate. Doubt it, but you know.
Oh, I might get some podcasts on NFTs and they'll auction that off.
Yeah,
50
yeah.
cents for the Glossop one.
Mate, this would people would pay a pretty penny for this one for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know, mate. I think the whole crypto space is a bit, you know, up in the air at the moment.
That's the thing. You got your experts on it that will tell you what everything's gonna do, but to be honest, I don't think anyone has any idea.
No, no.
It
I
just
think
does what it wants.
there's definitely like a place in the market for it, but whether we'll see the high figures and the high volume we saw in the early days continue on, I'm not
Yeah,
sure. But yes,
yeah, definitely.
um, but yeah, I guess, you know, I think for me, I'd rather have the physical copy. Like, you know,
Oh
what
yeah.
you got, you know.
That's the thing as well. Like you got I got them sitting in my room, and you just like go through them. You probably see on the Instagram. I put them out on the couch and watch TV with them and things like that. But you just got it there, and you'd be surprised how many times you pull it out just to look at it. Yeah, it's sick.
Just sitting there in awe of your
Ridiculous amount.
collection.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
say, does anything like sunlight, like do you have to keep them in the shade or out of the sun to like protect the color, or do you go to that extreme?
Um, Not sure. So I got a big box that I just keep mine in.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that just kind of sits in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd assume so. Like it's only like plastic, so well, you kind of want to look after them anyway. So most of mine, I got plastic sleeves that you kind of tuck them in, and then those bit harder case like penny
Mm.
sleeves, I think they're called, and you kind of pop them in. As obviously you're gonna eventually send it to PSA. You want to get the best grade possible to
Yeah.
make the most money, like essentially.
Mm.
Um, So you kind of just look after them because you're like, oh well, if this was a 10 and then I damage it, could be costing myself a couple hundred to a couple $1,000 depending on one how it's graded, two how the player goes. Like
Yeah.
imagine if you got a card worth $50 and damage it, and then he goes on to be the next LeBron,
Mm.
and you're just like, shit, 20K in 3 years time, 5 years time, or something.
Yeah.
You
You'd be
wouldn't be
filthy.
happy.
You'd be filthy, mate.
And we all love to think that oh yeah, this one's going to be the next LeBron.
Yeah.
Just get
Yeah.
yourself excited.
As I say, there would have been a bit of a frenzy when Zion was coming into the league,
Yeah, definitely.
because I still see people
He
get pretty excited when they pull a Zion now.
yeah, I like him. I got one of him sitting in there. But he's tipped off a bit at the moment just because the team he's in, they're not going to win anything anytime soon.
Mm.
So unless they trade some players, but his stats and stuff are ridiculous. Anyway, like he's just balling
Mm.
when he
Yeah,
is playing.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think they just got to develop, and one day I think they've got the potential to be a top side. They've got a lot of youth, a lot of good young players. So,
Yeah,
hopefully one day he'll reach the heights.
yeah, definitely,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, mate, and I guess to change the topic up a bit, hail from. Would you classify Serena originally, right?
Yeah, so that's where the parents kind of live. Never really kind of lived there. Like when I started school, we were at Proserpine up near Airlie there,
Yeah.
and then so yeah, went to boarding school obviously at Brendan's, and then parents and that moved to kind of like Serena Beach. So I was back there for school holidays and stuff, like 2 weeks a year,
Mm.
2 weeks every semester, sorry, couple weeks at the end of the year. And then yeah, straight after school, like I moved back there with the intention to kind of stay up there, and then got into physio down in Brizzy. So I was there for about 2 months, I think, and then ducked off. So it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, sort of, similar to like my parents, they moved to Townsville when I was at uni. So it's like when I'd go back to visit the fam, I'd
yeah,
never go back to Gladstone. It was always back to Townsville. And then when I moved up here, people were like, "Oh, your parents live here. Did you grow up here?" And I was like, "Oh, nah." Like I'd sort of,
yeah,
just come back to see the family when they moved here. So, um,
that's the thing, and you don't know many people or nothing, so you're like, it doesn't really feel like you're from there as such.
yeah, no, it can be tough. So you went to Brennan's from grade 8, was it? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. Border from grade 8.
yeah, would have made some good mates over those 5-6 years, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a couple of lunatics in there, but no, it was good. Just went all the way through with a fair few boys.
Mm.
We were pretty lucky. We didn't have too many drop off along the way, really.
Yeah,
Um, somehow, but yeah, kind of got through to the end, so we were all there. Couple tagged along at like grade 10, like Glossop, Dalga, things like that. So they were they were good as well. Connor Morrissey,
yeah,
he's another one. They're probably three of my closest mates now. Actually, they only come around grade 10 time.
yeah. Because Con, he was at ACU too, wasn't he? Or was he just playing footy for him?
Uh nah, yeah. So Declan was at ACU,
Yeah,
and then Connor was at UQ, but just played for us at ACU there.
yeah, gotcha. Because my first year of uni footy down there, Con and Declan were both playing for ACU, so it was a bit of a
Oh yeah,
laugh.
nice.
Um,
Yeah,
good fellas too, good fellas.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Lunatics, but
Oh yeah, mental. I remember when I was at school, mate. I always heard the horror story of how you smashed your head in playing footy. You can tell us that story,
yeah,
mate.
yeah. So
I wasn't there to
that's a great.
experience it, but I've heard the
That was
stories.
yeah, grade 11. Gee, I was playing, what they call it then? Green maybe. And literally I was just like running the overs line and I've stepped back in on the left, and it was, I think that's like third division or something. So there's play with your mates, bit of fun, and then a couple of couple people in there just a bit Gumby, and this
Mm.
bloke's just shot across from marker, just not anticipating any change of direction or nothing. And I've just like stepped off my left foot and just bang collided with him. And his chin kind of just hit me smack bang in the middle here and just broke like the outer layer, like fractured the outer layer of the skull there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because I like you think your forehead, if you hit it like do that, you'd think it'd hurt a fair bit. But there's like no muscle there really and no nothing. And I've kind of felt like this side of my head and just thought like it's a massive bump.
Yeah.
Obviously I've like that's dented in and I've felt the normal part and thought, oh, it's a massive bump. And like one drop of blood there was, and I'm like, oh, I've just got like one of those footy player eye cuts or something like that. I'm like, oh, bugger.
Mm.
Walked off, and then there's like this little kid on the sideline that's just looking at me like a weirdo, just with his mouth shut, just going like, "Holy shit!" Like, and I'm just like, "Oh, maybe it's just pissing out blood or something." And then everyone starts panicking.
Oh, shit.
You can't see your forehead, so you got
Yeah.
no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then everyone's just like walking past, just like looking at you, like turning their head, and you're just like, "Someone give me a
Fuck.
phone, like, so I can take a video or something." And I literally actually got a selfie photo.
Yeah.
I took the photo. I got my phone out, took a photo, looked at it, and just a boy look, and I've just seen nothing but a little bit of blood. Like, did not see the dent at all.
Yeah.
Um, and then went, I'm all good. Throw me back on, just like strap it up or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nah, wasn't all good.
So what do they do, mate? Do they call you an ambulance, or what's the protocol there?
Yeah, so they sat me on the sideline, called the ambos, and then what started to happen was like all the blood started to trickle down into my stomach and stuff. So I started getting nauseous, and
Oh
then just
shit.
sat down for a bit, obviously bleeding, some blood pressure, and that's wigging out. Then when I stand up, I was just dizzy and went a bit downhill from there. But nah, straight off the hospital and on the painkillers.
Mm.
Um,
Was
But yeah, it's a tricky one because they couldn't really give you like the green whistle and all that heavy painkillers because it's a head knock.
yeah.
So you just had to keep you awake. So they're just annoying you every 2 minutes, just like, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking hell. That'd have been brutal, mate.
yeah,
Did
pretty brutal. Yeah,
so what did you have to do? Did you have to go into surgery and they have to repair it?
yeah. So what they did, so they got the scans and stuff straight away. So they did an X-ray and all that, see if there's any damage to the brain, any kind of emergency surgery, things like that.
Mm.
And lucky it was just a fracture of that front wall. But then kind of it's swollen up, obviously. So it's swelled up and looked normal because you think a dent, and then the swelling's kind of come out. Um, and obviously they couldn't do the surgery with the swelling and stuff then. So I had to go back to school. Well, I didn't have to go back to school, but I went back to school for a week. Grade 11, don't really want to miss 2-3 weeks at school, especially doing OP. So went back to school, waited for the swelling to go down, and then went back down to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Got it kind of fixed up. They just cut all the way across over the top there, pull it down, and then puzzle it back together pretty much, like a couple of plates and screws and all that.
Fucking hell,
But
mate.
it's like, yeah, it sounds hectic, but it's probably one of me like least worst recovery injuries. Like it's actually to recover because you're like, hey, well, all you got to do is avoid using your forehead.
Yeah.
Which what do you use your forehead for? I've done hands and knees before, and they just suck because you're walking around or
Mm.
you're putting your shoes on when you got one hand. But I could go to gym like 2 weeks later, and I was just smashing gym, and all I had to do was not headbutt anyone. Which I guess a little bit difficult when you're mates with Glossop because that's all you want to do when you're around him. But besides that, it wasn't too bad actually.
I don't think he's the bloke you really want to headbutt either. I don't think you'd feel it, old Gloss.
Yeah, definitely not.
He'd just
Definitely
laugh.
not.
He'd laugh and go
Yeah.
down too. Oh, mate, that's crazy. What was your parents' reaction like? I assume they'd be freaking out when they first heard.
Yeah, well, I rang mum and I told her it was all good because I thought it was, but then then mum's obviously told dad or something like that. Oh no, it's all good, or and then the school rang them and they're just like, oh, so this happened. They're like, oh, we spoke to him. He said he's all good.
Right.
But then yeah, they ended up jumping in the car coming down.
Straight down, yeah. Fuck, man, that's crazy. And what was like
Yeah.
what was the recovery time like? How long were you made to sit out of sport?
Uh, so it was like 3 months, or from the surgery,
Mm,
3 months, kind of from there before you could do any contact again, like your normal bone healing type stuff,
yeah.
pretty much. Got to the bones kind of fused and all that. So,
Mm,
but I think it was about September, like the end of the season. So I kind of had that till March then, which was about 6 weeks, 6 months. So
yeah.
before I could really like play again. So it was pretty timing wise worked out all right. Like
Mm,
if you ever want to get injured, it's obviously so you're right for preseason the next year. But yeah,
yeah.
it worked out all right.
I was gonna say, was there ever discussions with your parents where they're like, mate, we don't want you to play footy anymore, or were they all good with it?
Oh, they I had to wear the headgear then. They were pretty
Mm,
like that, but at the start, I think mum was freaking out a bit. She was like, "Oh no, don't do that." But
yeah, yeah,
um, it was probably I was what was I 16 at the time.
yeah.
Wasn't much of a listener. It was kind of like, nah, I'm playing. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did the boys give you heaps of shit? Was there many like creative nicknames made up out of the incident?
Ah,
You usually get like the
probably. Yeah,
Terminator or something like that, or Chrome Dome.
yeah. There's a couple showcase jokes at the old
Yeah,
Brennans because
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
me and Harry were the captains and Harry had all metal in his legs and stuff as well. So a
Mm,
few jokes there with Sam Cookson pulled out a couple. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
But I can't recall any off
Mm.
the top of the head, eh?
As I say,
Which is
if
surprising because I'm sure there was.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure, mate. If there's anyone in your grade that was going to do it, it'd be Sam Cookson.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a
Yeah.
pest.
But yeah, definitely. But
uh,
yeah, no, I can't recall any.
Nah, that's all good, mate. Yeah, mate. Well, that would have been fucking scary for sure. I mean, yeah, I can't say I've ever dented my forehead in, so I can't relate to you, but it's just a
Yeah,
real.
you never hear of it. And then there's
Uh,
you never see it, and then until it happens, and you read it everywhere. And it's
yeah,
like a month later, and Jordan Rapana, same thing happened to him, except it's on the side of his head.
yeah.
So he had fracture in there,
Mm,
and that was literally a month later, and you're like, before I did it, you'd never see anything, and then of
mm.
course someone does it a
Is
bit
there
later on, which
is there a pretty gnarly scar on your head now? Like,
they're pretty good, eh? Like it's so zigzagged
yeah,
across there, and you're like, oh, why they do the zigzag? But it's because for your hairline. So they like if you do a straight line, it's just going to part down the middle. So if they
yeah.
zigzag it, it doesn't part over the top. So obviously, your barber when they do the old fade, the old sick cut
Mm,
down the side, they kind of see it there. But
yeah,
other than that, it's not that noticeable, really.
yeah. That's all
Pretty
right,
good.
eh? I was gonna say because yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen some horror head cuts where the hair doesn't grow back anymore, but that makes sense if you go with a zigzag
yeah,
approach.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yep.
but I was gonna say, mate, I've did this thing with last episode. It's a bit of a game, so I'll throw you,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'll throw a heap of celebrity names at you, and it's like a celebrity playoff. So basically, it's
Okay,
who you'd rather have dinner with for a night. You pick their brains about anything. So it's sort of like a
right.
so your first two, the winner of that goes on to play the next
Yep.
one, and it's just elimination.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, mate.
Okay,
So
right.
I got a list here for you. So it starts with Chris Hemsworth or Matt Damon.
Oh, I have to go Matt Damon, eh? I used
He's
to love
Damon,
him
eh?
when I was a younger fella. The younger Corey would have been like, oh, I gotta go Damon.
Yeah, yeah. And mate, yeah, a bit of a Bourne fan, Jason Bourne.
Um, Probably not as much. Probably not as much. It's just Damon used to be in everything back in the day. Is
Yeah.
any action film, and Matt Damon was in every single thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, used to
Nah,
love him.
great actor, mate. All right, so next round, Matt Damon or Rihanna?
Definitely Matt Damon.
Yeah, yeah. Give her the
Not,
flick.
not, yeah, not Rihanna. Not a Rihanna fan. With I'm a Breezy fan. I love Breezy.
Oh, a bit of controversy.
And I reckon it would turn into a mess if I rock up and she says anything bad about old Breezy.
Oh, no.
So
You just you you're just being cancelled, mate.
we're getting Glossop back on for the next half.
Yeah. All right, mate. So Matt Damon or the Biebs, Justin Bieber.
Ah, I reckon he'd have some stories, old Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to go Bieber.
Yeah, yeah.
He
I
would have.
reckon he'd have some wild, wild stories, I think. A lot of drug fueled stories too. Big ones
Yeah,
on the gear.
he's just a bit of a weirdo as well, a little bit. Um, the old egg throwing story back in the day. That one would come up.
Yeah, what happened there again? That rings a bell in my head, but I
Oh,
can't
he,
remember the story.
he got arrested or fined or something throwing eggs at someone's house.
Ah,
I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. This part could be made up as well. But
yeah.
yeah, he's been in a bit of trouble over the years.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so Reese's a believer. Right, Justin Bieber or Will Smith?
Oh, Will Smith, easy.
Yeah, is the
He's a
goat, eh?
legend.
Literally.
Yeah, like you can't go past him.
Mm,
Like the movies he's done, like he's got a bit of everything in it.
mm.
Um,
Any personal faves?
what's that one? I can't even remember the name of it now. It's got Margot Robbie in it,
Oh,
and they go
Focus.
pinch all that. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's
it's good,
unreal.
eh?
Like what they do in that. I remember the first time watching it, and they were at that NFL game, and they're gambling all that money against that that actor that's a neurosurgeon.
Oh, like
Yeah,
he's like a
Chinese
Chinese
fella.
millionaire. Yeah, I can't remember his name,
Yeah,
but there you
yeah,
go.
can't remember his name. And you're just watching it, and you're kind of like, it's just so off chop. It's the
Yeah.
best. And then you got Margot Robbie in there as well, which is just
Mm,
exceptional.
just a sort. Um,
Yeah,
and in that scene too, you're like, oh, surely he fucking gives up here. Like you actually believe he has a problem and he's lost everyone's
yeah.
money, but that he's just playing old mate the whole time.
It's just a massive twist. You're just like, oh no, like
Yeah. And then
I didn't mind
when he explains it in
yeah,
the car ride, I think it is, it's just fucking unreal.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mind Margot Robbie yelling at him. I wouldn't mind her yelling at me either. So oh, that's dangerous.
You get lost in her gaze, mate, as she's yelling at you. You just
Yeah,
start in fairyland. Um,
definitely.
all right, mate. So Big Will gets the nod over the Beebs.
Yeah,
So now you got Will Smith or Luka Doncic, NBA player. For those who don't know,
I'd have to go Will Smith still. Eh?
mm. I think
I,
he's a bit
I
more
reckon,
interesting.
yeah, it's just more you could talk to him about. And I reckon you'd walk out of there feeling like so much wiser, better
Yeah.
outlook on life.
Hmm. Let's
Unless Luke
also,
was giving me some basketball cards, and I'd be
yeah.
like, hey.
Oh, you've charmed me. You've charmed me.
Yeah.
The other thing with Will too, though, like, what are your thoughts on how old Jada treated him with the entanglement? Do you remember that last year? How they were on like a bit of I think they did like a
Yeah,
podcast together, and she basically was seeing some other fella and called it an entanglement. Um, there's a few memes made of it, but I felt
yeah,
bad for poor
right.
Will. I'll have to find the clip and send it to you if you're not familiar with it. But
Yeah, nah, not 100%
it was
familiar. I know there was drama.
yeah, I think they like had like a bit of a maybe like a break in the relationship or something, and she started seeing some young R&B singer that was friends with Jaden Smith, her son,
Yeah, right.
and like was sleeping with him. And then she has like some sort of show or some sort of podcast with Will, and they were talking about it, and she's just like was talking about the situation, and she called it an entanglement, and then Will was just like, an entanglement, like questioning her phrasing of it. It was basically a relationship. And it looked like
Yeah.
old Will was about to start crying. It was actually pretty brutal for the poor fella.
Yeah, right.
So lost a bit of respect for old Jada after that one.
Mm.
So I'm in full
Nah,
support of our
yeah,
boy Will.
I'll have to have a look, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so Will still gets the nod. Oh, this will be a tough one, mate. Will Smith or Denzel Washington?
Oh, I'd probably still have to go Will, eh?
Would you? Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Personally,
I reckon it's gonna be tough to beat for me, yeah. Will,
yeah.
but
Well, yeah, I'm a big Denzel fan, mate. I reckon he's one of the goats, but you can't go wrong if you pick Will Smith over him.
yeah.
All right, Will Smith or Lamar Jackson?
Will again, eh?
Yeah, it's one of those things, mate. Something that celebrities, they've just got a certain level of aura over an athlete, unless you're getting like a Michael
Yeah,
Jordan or a LeBron.
definitely, because they're like a bit of both. They're a celebrity and an athlete. Lamar
Mm,
Jackson, though, yeah, he'd have some stories.
mm,
Probably have some wild stories, just like growing up and stuff,
yeah,
coming from over there. But
still sticking with Will.
yeah, yeah,
Still
I'm
sticking
gonna
with
go
Will.
Will.
All right, mate. Will Smith or Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, I reckon I gotta go Mark there. I love Mark,
uh,
eh?
oh, Marky Mark. Love
Definitely,
it.
because he could talk so much because he wakes up at like 2:30 in the morning or whatever and starts his day then. So
Mm,
talks so much about just day to day life and
mm.
implementing how he does things as
I'd,
well. Yeah, I'd go Mark there.
yeah, right. Marky Mark's knocked off Will. Also, like, I think people who've grown up like in Boston are fascinating. Like, they've all got that Boston
Yeah,
accent, eh? And it's just, I think it's so
that
funny.
yeah, yeah, literally. You see it in every movie, and you could literally compare him saying something in every movie. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, literally. And he sounds so frantic when he talks. I
Yeah,
don't know what it is. It's like he's always in a rush.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was actually on a movie that boys were watching last night. No idea what it's called, but it's the same thing. He sounds like passive aggressive,
Mm,
kinda every single time over the smallest things. But nah, yeah,
yeah,
he's good.
100%. All right, mate. So Mark Wahlberg, new king. Now this one's interesting, mate. Mentioned beforehand, Mark Wahlberg or Margot Robbie?
Definitely Margot Robbie. That is an easy. I don't reckon anyone in the world would beat her. Gee, nah. Sometimes I watch that Focus movie like 4 Saturdays in a row just for my own Margot. If I had a Margot Robbie cam, it's like of what she does in the movie, and if she's on scenes, I would watch that. She's ridiculous.
You just need to get your weekend dose of Margot Robbie, hey
Oh yeah, definitely makes you feel better about yourself.
mate. Oh mate, Margot Robbie. So she's got the crown now. Margot Robbie
Yeah,
or Brad Pitt?
nah, Robbie. I don't.
Easy.
I honestly don't reckon anyone could beat her.
Ah, well, mate. There's one more left. Margot Robbie or Big Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Ah, that would be entertaining, but if I had to pick, I would go Margot.
Margot, it is, mate. Oh,
Yeah,
how good! You fancy your chances with her? You reckon you'd throw a bit of chat her way after a night out?
yeah, the old Goldie girl, so I
Mm,
could relate a little bit more, I reckon.
yeah,
After seeing Megan Fox with that Machine Gun Kelly, I reckon
yeah. You're a
anyone
shot.
could have a chance at anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
If she looks like that and goes for him, then surely Margot will give me a crack.
Actually, speaking of Machine Gun Kelly, mate, I saw a photo of him walking with her, and he had these long nails on, like long fake
Hmm.
nails, and I was like, that is not a
Yeah.
trend, mate. I'm not jumping on that
Nah,
trend.
yeah. And what about his black tongue?
Yeah, that's fucked.
I don't know if it's tattoo or if it's just something that he does but I've
Mm,
seen it in so many photos that he posts. But yeah, I seen the nails as well. And I was just like
yeah, not
I
my
clicked I
style, mate.
clicked on his man neither. I clicked on his Instagram after I seen that thing
Mm.
with Megan Fox and I was just like, what's going on there?
Yeah, and like it's funny, he used to be like right into his rap music and whatnot, but now it looks like he's going more of a rock sort of scene, isn't he?
Yeah, like a rock lovey type scene where it's like a bit of balance between both. Like, no idea.
Not for me, mate. Not for me.
Definitely.
Well, that's all right, mate. I often think with Margot Robbie, it's sort of like a case of, um, if you go over to the US, I think the perception is that, a US girl might think, oh, his accent's interesting. Like, let's have a bit of a chat to him. But you don't really get that advantage with Margot. She knows what Australian blokes are like. So
Yeah,
you'd have to put in a bit of double time,
definitely.
work a bit harder. Um,
100%.
You'd have to have a good pickup line too, mate. Do you have any in the bank that you'd think you'd go to?
Oh, I used to love the old if you were a booger, I'd pick you first. That's a killer. But
She'd probably get like a shiver up her spine, like a typical Australian pickup line.
yeah,
But maybe it might make her feel at home. So that might give you
yeah,
a bit of a
definitely.
benefit if she's
Bit
homesick.
of an advantage.
But when you're co-starring in films along Will Smith, I don't think you'd get too homesick.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Another
But
thing
imagine that dinner with both them, Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
was that.
That'd be
Sorry,
dangerous.
if you had,
Imagine that dinner with both them, Will
uh,
Smith and Margot Robbie.
mate, they might teach you a few things, how to rip a few people off, maybe.
Yeah, don't bet your wallet be gone between them in 2 seconds.
Yeah, fucking oath. I was going to say, mate, the other thing we also do is ask the guests, if you got anything grinding your gears, whether it be this week, this year, um, anything grinding your gears.
Just Forrest Day, the roommate.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that grinds my gears, but I think that's the same for everyone.
I feel like
Um,
there's a deeply embedded sort of almost a hate I'm sensing. Is that how you feel about
uh,
him?
yeah, it's the same with everyone. You probably don't even need to know him, and you start to feel that way.
Mm.
It's just one of those people.
Well, I saw all the people replying to your story, and I always want to call them victims because that's what it
Yeah,
really felt like. And I started to sympathise with them, and I almost sent in something saying I don't even know the guy, but I don't like him.
there are a couple people that did that.
Yeah, yeah,
He's yeah, he's a terrible bloke, but uh grinding my gears. Um, the suspensions at the moment in the footy's killing me. Victor Radley for 5 weeks. That's something that grinds my gears. He's my
yeah.
favorite player easily.
Oh, Victor the
And
Inflictor.
yep,
He
yeah.
certainly inflicted
I
some pain
was,
that night.
yeah. Not only on other people, but on himself as
And
well.
New South Wales fans.
Yeah, that's it. I was having a chat to one of my patients actually about like suspension and whether it should apply for Origin or not.
Mm,
And no way, I reckon it should. But even like with injuries and stuff in the game as well, you're already missing a couple of the best,
mm.
like your Luke Kearys and things like that, who would be there otherwise. And then you take out like Harley, Radley because they're suspended, Crichton.
Yeah.
Like people want to see the best of the best, don't they? Like
Mm,
suspend them from club footy for 5 games, but let them play the Origin
yeah.
if they're selected.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I agree. Yeah, it's just brutal at the moment. Like you said before, there the injuries. Like we're already seeing Kalen Ponga rubbed out of Origin with a groin injury. I think he failed his fitness test
Yep.
today, so he's heading back to Newcastle to rehab that. And just with the faster rules too, we're seeing more injuries. So you really want to see the best of the best playing, and something silly like a
Yeah,
suspension that rubs a
exactly.
player out.
When they're fit to play, like obviously, yeah, you still got to punish them, but yeah, there's no way one game of club footy in round 12 is equivalent to a state of origin game.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Like,
But especially someone, like your Josh Papali or like your Victor Radley, those two like are such a big part of a team.
and that's kind of one per side. Like it's just aggressive footy. Like who doesn't love watching both them two play?
Mm,
Uh,
yeah, exactly right. But
so
yeah, it's
yeah,
shit. But
definitely. It's probably one of the things I'm just like frustrating at the moment.
mm. And like I can see where why they're doing it, and I think you know inevitably it was going to happen. Like whether it was Volandis or someone
Yeah,
else that brought it in. It's just I don't know. I guess maybe they should have looked at giving teams, a 5 or 6 week warning saying, hey, at this date, we're going to bring in these rules. Here's the amount of weeks you have to prepare for it. And that sort of gives
yeah,
them plenty of time to go, all right, we know as of this date, we have to, really focus hard on defending the right way and not being lazy.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely. Or even like their sin bin, implement that, but with the suspensions, like straight away changing the rule and saying, right, getting 5 weeks for that. It's a bit rough. Like,
mm. And I think like
it,
a sin bin or a send off is, enough of a penalty sometimes because that can be all it takes for your team to be the winner or the loser of the match.
especially the way the game is now. Like you see teams go off, and some teams score three, 4 tries, or like they grind him out for the 10 minutes, and then when he comes back on, they just shot and they score 4 tries in the last 20 minutes. Like it's
Yeah, that's
yeah,
shit.
but you see why they do it. But,
Yeah. I'm for it, but I can see where the players argue on the basis that, we've had all these rule changes, the middles are going to get tired. So, of course, they're going to throw an arm out if, like, a James Tedesco
mm,
someone gets a cheeky offload to him and, he's in open space. Like, it's just your
yeah,
natural reaction to throw an arm out and try and stop him.
definitely.
Uh,
Yeah, but like again, they got to do something about the people staying down when they get a little bump as well. Like it. There's one the other day. It was Jared Wallace stayed down. Napa tackled him. Wallace stayed down. No one noticed it, except for the fact Wallace laid down. Like ref was happy to play on. Lays down. Oh, look at the replay. Napa's got to go to the bin, and then Wallace scored 3 minutes later. I'm like, well, did he get hit in the head or not? Like if he's
uh,
hitting the head and he's staying down, he's got to go off. He can't get hit in the head, stay down. The other player go to the bin and then he stay on. Like they
yeah.
gotta.
It should be mandatory that if you are down for a while from a head knock, that you have to go off for a mandatory HIA assessment. Like, yeah.
That's what I reckon because that's 15 minutes. You're out of the game then, so you got to decide like, okay, am I gonna stay down and risk being out of the game for 15 minutes, or am I gonna get back up? And you're gonna see a hell of a lot more people get back up then,
Mm.
which takes out those soft ones that people are just diving for a penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's the thing, man. Like, you don't want to see the NRL becoming a bit of a flopping sport. Like, you see it in the
yeah,
NBA, see it in soccer.
exactly.
Just takes away from the physicality.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's going to become a hugging game soon, where people are like, oh,
Mm,
better not shoot out, or better not try to make a big play, make a big shot because too risky. They're just
yeah.
going to form a line, and everyone loves seeing big hits.
Mm,
Obviously, and no one loves seeing people get knocked out either. But you don't want people like, oh well, Victor and that just going right. I won't do that now because it's too risky. That one,
mm,
the player might stay down, or two, I might just nick him, or
mm. Yeah. I guess it
things
makes
like
you
that.
wonder, mate, at the cup level, how's this going to impact the Jack Glossops of the world, mate?
Oh yeah, he'd stay down as well. So You don't even have to hit him in the head, and he stays down most weeks.
And I guess, mate, it's an easy target too. There's a lot of surface
Yeah,
area on that head.
exactly. You got plenty of room to hit. So, and that's one where the crowd would probably cheer if you did get hit in the head. It's probably encouraged at the old Tweed games.
You have to be careful though, mate, because you don't want to go fracturing a forearm, with a big swinging arm into that melon.
That's it. Yeah,
You'd want some
better off
padding.
just using the knee. Better
Yeah,
off
yeah,
just dropping the knee in or elbow maybe.
yeah. No, it's understandable, and I'd say he'd be a bit of a victim too in terms of giving away a few high shots, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm.
He's bit ill disciplined, old Glossop.
He's a bit aggressive, old Gloss on the field.
Yeah, the old tackling technique learned at the Gladstone State Skate Park.
Yeah, mate.
But, yep.
It's the old Gladdy comp. I don't know what the old A grade comp would be like there now, but I can't imagine the quality's too outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Rocky for Beef Week a few weeks ago for work. And
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
yeah, mate, bit of fun. Got to watch a bit of local A grade at Rocky, mate. Standard's not bad. I'd say probably.
Who'd you watch?
I was Rocky Brothers, and I can't remember who they were playing. Yeah, not off the top of my head, I can't remember. Maybe Gracemere.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting being back in the CQ. Do you head back much?
Yeah. I think I've been back twice since I finished, and it was a bit of like went back there 2 years after maybe and was like, oh yeah, nothing's changed. I'll come back in a couple of years, and I went back about 3 years later, or maybe 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, still nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll do me. It's the same people we seen when we were in school, still just floating around the same clubs, same footy teams every week. So
Yeah, hitting the piss every weekend. Yeah, I couldn't
yeah,
do it, mate. Not for me.
nah, definitely not. And that's the thing as well. Like I was a boarder, most of my good mates were boarders. So when they finished, they kind of just scattered. Like no one's really there anymore. Got Clay and Tyser and Dougie and that are still around, Quinny and that are still there, but the rest of them, I think, they're all either down here or down New South Wales somewhere.
Yeah,
There's no real need to go back.
I say, mate, ever since you moved down there, we always see your Snapchat stories, your Insta stories, and seems like you love life down there, mate.
Yeah, it's good. It's got me a couple uni mates, which are pretty good. Then a few boys that are from down that rocky way down here as well, which run amok occasionally, which is good and bad. Getting old now, takes a while to recover.
Yeah, bloody oath. I'd imagine when big Clay Langford comes to town, mate, it'd be a big night here and there, or is he doesn't go as hard as he used to? What's the go there?
He definitely does. It's massive. It's always massive nights when old Langer comes down, but massive nights at the casino as well. He's there for 3 days.
I'll say that, mate. How shit is it though when you're at uni studying and one of the boys comes down who's, tradie or working in the mines and they're just fucking blowing it through the casino and you're sort of sitting there with like your $200, $300 on the account just trying to get by.
Yeah, literally.
Your sports bet funds.
Yeah, $5 NBA multi. Hopefully that kicks so I can
have a good night.
Gas, but
yeah.
Nah, they go pretty hard there. But Clay's good. He always shout the boys if he's winning, which he always does. I don't know how.
Yeah, he strikes me as a bit of an arsey bastard.
Yeah, definitely. His spider senses start tingling as he walks past the machine or something. He's like, oh, this is the one.
Yeah, this one's gonna kick soon.
Yep.
Mate, I was just going to ask you, do you have any movie, book suggestions? Do you think of any TV series you're watching at the moment?
Not much of a reader.
Yeah.
But my mate's he's been watching that Punisher. I watched the first episode of that the other night. And I was like, it's not bad. It's not bad. But
Interesting
other than that,
storyline.
have you seen it? Have you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I watched, is it 2 or 3 seasons?
Yeah.
I think I watched it like, would have been not long after school. It might have been like 2017, 2018 maybe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Vaguely
But
remember it.
yeah, yeah. So I've seen one episode of that, and I was like, oh yeah, I might sit down and watch this. But nah, haven't been into the movies as much. Obviously, just started a new grad job in February, so I had about 3 months of that. So most of my time at the moment is just making sure I know what I'm doing when I'm at work. But no, yeah, that's all right. Otherwise, I watched Money Heist at the end of last year, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Which is coming out with a new season soon.
Yeah.
The old Animal Kingdom, I like that one. That was good.
Good series.
Coming out a new season soon as well. So
yeah,
they're
good options there. Coming
yeah.
up,
What are you into these days?
mate. At the moment, I like to do the old log into the old boys Foxtel account and get a hold of some of like the HBO series on demand through the laptop. So one I've been watching. There was 2 there I've sort of right into that have just had new seasons released. Snowfall's one of them. I've sort of spoken about it before on the podcast, and it's sort of back in the 80s, I think, when like the CIA were sort of like illegally, not illegally, but bringing cocaine into the US to fund the Nicaraguan war, and they were like, distributing it to all these drug dealers. And there's like, it sort of follows this young like African American kid who's sort of like real smart, went to college but got kicked out of college for, I think he just couldn't afford it, so he dropped out of college and he became like this drug kingpin. And he's only like 20 years old, and he like smart enough to figure out that he's actually like the CIA is supplying him the drugs. So like he begins to learn that like he's untouchable basically, and it's just crazy seeing like his rise from like selling weed to like becoming this drug kingpin. And it's like, well, because they're trying to fund this war that the US government doesn't want a bar of, but they need to fund it. So real good series, mate. There's like 4, I think they're in the 4th season now. I'll have to flick you a link for the trailer. It's real good.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Yeah, and the other,
so Foxtel, you said Foxtel, not Netflix.
Yeah, Foxtel, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's all right.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So rip into that one, mate. Really good watch. The other one's that Mr. In Between. It's been advertised a fair bit on Fox League. It's like an Australian one.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's like this sort of like middle-aged Australian dad, real skinny sort of bald fella, but he's like a hitman. And he's just, I don't know how you explain it. That's another one you sort of got to watch the trailer to get a sense of like the humor and like the action side of it. But yeah, really good watch. And I'm not a big fan of Australian series or movies, but the old boy put me onto that one. I was like, fuck yeah, this is good. So
yeah, right,
yeah, and the only drama is they're like 30-minute episodes, which kind of sucks. But it's 30-minute episodes are good if you're in that one more episode mindset, where it's 2, 3 in the morning. You're like, oh, what's another 30 minutes going to do?
Should be going to bed, but it's good getting up to a good part.
Literally, So yeah, they're my 2 recommendations. So you can get them on Foxtel, which is not a bad option if you got someone else paying for it. So
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I'm pretty happy to end things there. If you're happy with that, mate, you got to go cook some dinner or something.
No, that's pretty good. Yeah, I probably should go head to the gym. I've been a bit slack today, having nap in preparation for this. So
Oh, mate, you and I both. I was out of it, eh?
yeah, I was the same, mate. I was actually watching the Lakers game, and I'm like, yeah, I won't set an alarm. No way I'll pass out for that long. I woke up about 10 minutes before you messaged me, and I was like, shit.
I was also going to ask you, mate, just quickly, like with your job, I'd imagine a lot of it's like you got to have really good communication skills as well. Because I remember when I've, been to physios, they always seem to be good talkers,
Yeah,
which they wouldn't teach you on the job. I'd imagine you just have to be natural good talker.
yeah. That's the thing. You got plenty of practice through uni and stuff, but they kind of like hammer that into you. But you kind of just get like your little like scripts and your words that you kind of say, or you kind of develop your vocabulary as you kind of go on. And then once you say something that sounds real smart, you run with that. You're like, oh yeah, that'll work. So, but yeah, it's one of those things as well. The more you kind of do it, the better you get at it.
Because I mean, in my experiences, I don't know if it's just by luck, but every physio I've been to, mate, it almost sometimes feels like I'm talking to the same bloke. Like they
Yeah,
said, they're aware of the recent news or whatever's happening in the news, and then they ask you what your thoughts are on it, and especially if it's
yeah,
sports related.
definitely.
I'm sure you've probably spoken about the head high thing with the NRL 100 times.
Yep. Yeah. No, everyone loves to have a chat about that, or about how to beat Penrith. That's another one that comes up.
Mate, that's
Sure.
a problem I don't even know if the smartest mathematicians could solve.
No way. That's a whole podcast to talk about that.
Yeah, fuck it hell. All right, mate. Well, I
Yeah.
better let you hit the road, eh?
Sweet as. Cheers, Keano.
All good, mate. Thanks for coming on. Welcome back anytime.
All good.
We might have to
Thanks for
dedicate
having
one.
me.
Yeah, we'll dedicate one episode to ripping on Gloss, maybe, eh?
Absolutely. That'll get the views.
All right, mate. Take care of yourself, eh?
Right. Cheers, mate. Good
Catch you,
talking to
bro.
you.
See you, mate.